Well, good morning, and good morning. My name is William Lawson, and this is the Morning Report on Fight Back Media, fightbackmedia.com. I trust that you are well this glorious day. It just seems like things, sometimes you wonder, are things getting better? Are things the same? Or are things getting worse? Well, the answer to all those questions is probably yes. Things are getting better, and things are getting worse, and things are getting more curiouser and curiouser every day. And the information that the mainstream media does not want to get out is getting out, which really has them on notice that we, the people, are about to take back our country. We use that term so much, in 2016 and the like. We need to take back our country. Uh, and I once said on the panel when I was on C. O'Brien's content of character tour, uh, we can't even take over our own living rooms. How in the hell are we going to take over our country? But the fact of the matter is that we're starting to take over our living rooms again. We've been told to stay at home. We've been told we're safer doing, basically, not safer at home, just safer doing what the government tells us to do. Whether that government be federal, state, or local government, telling us what to do, where to go, and all those things. Now, what's really starting to happen is that the free flow of information is starting to crack the shell of the oppressor. I know that's a pretty hyperbolic way to put that, but people will deal with it one way or the other. So I'm excited about the couple of stories that I have for you this morning. We're going to put a videotape together to put on the website and to put on YouTube. If it stays on YouTube, it probably won't, but we're going to give it a shot. So for those of you who are watching on the video, you're going to see some weird, awful cuts because the editing is going to suck, but it's going to be okay. We're also going to have a Tim Bryce. Bryce is right, and we are going and we are pulling people on. We are pulling people together. I had a video that went out last night, I guess, where we talked about going underground because of what's happened to my friend Alfonso Rachel. If you go to bronzeserpent.com, you can actually go directly to his website and help him out there. Alfonso Rachel is one of those people back there. Golly, when I started in this, was already way out ahead of the rest of us, producing fabulous content. So much I actually invited him to come to speak at a Juneteenth ceremony in Tampa from Los Angeles, and the dude was so great that he basically flew out in the morning and flew back in the afternoon just for us. Just fabulous. And as it turned out, he got screwed because we got screwed. But and basically for years I've been trying my best to help him recover from that happened in our internal organization. So yes, I have a real reason that I want him to do well, other than he is great for the movement. All right, so that put me in the mind of that we can't take the regular route anymore. We can't depend on YouTube. We can't depend on Facebook. We can't depend on Twitter. We can't depend on these leftist social media sites to help us get our word out there. We're going to have to go underground. To go underground with email, we have to go underground with websites. So bronzeserpent.com, Bryce, timbryce.com, and some others are going to be coming at you sort of fast and furious. And I'm going to ask for something that I haven't asked for in a while. I'm going to have to ask for you to send me an email and send me your email address, because that's how we're going to start communicating more and more. All right, we'll be back in a minute. We're going to first stop and ring the register. My friend Christine Vasconcello from Blumina's Flower Shop. You got to love her. We'll tell you about her later. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson, and the Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com. We appreciate that you are here. This morning, we have a couple of stories to share with you today. It's just getting curiouser and curiouser. You guys may remember during Thursday's Corona Task Force briefing, it was revealed that sunlight, this is what your grandma told you, that sunlight was a way that you could get rid of the virus because it kills the virus. Now, it's funny that grandma already knew that. Grandma always said, go outside, it's good for you. Get some sun on your skin meat, it's good for you. They already knew that. My grandmother knew that, and she didn't graduate from high school and could barely read. But she was smart enough to know that, going outside was good for you. And spending too much, if you're a kid especially, spending too much time indoors was not good for you, right? As a matter of fact, if you're my age, 59, you know that most of our grandmothers already knew that. And our mothers sort of went with that. And they learned that it was great to get us out of the house. and if you had, if you had kids who were out of the house, you basically had healthier children, and you had less to deal with. And they got some peace and quiet. I'm sure that was part of it. But just like always, my friends in California, God bless my friends in California, always take things to the extreme. And that's exactly what's happened here. After that news conference, after that briefing, with temperatures in California rising into the 90s. It's hot. But California, you know what? The thing about California that I do like is I do like the weather. There's not much else I like about California, frankly, but I do like the weather. It's in the 90s, high 80s, but the humidity is really low. Not like the desert where it's dry and then you feel like you got cocaine on your skin if you're black, because the salt dries up from your sweat immediately and you die before you get thirsty. It ain't like that, but it is beautiful and the humidity is not too bad, but it does get warm and I like it. So in California, temperatures rising, a little bit of the 90s this past weekend. Reports are that tens of thousands of Californians flocked to the sunny beaches in defiance of Governor Newsom's stay-at-home order. Now, beaches operated by the state remain closed. And that's important. That the state-run beaches remain closed, but some of the city beaches are open. People surfing and sunbathing in hot weather because what? Humidity and sunlight. Virus don't like that. Became breaking news this weekend as an estimated 50,000 people descended upon Newport and Huntington beaches. The beachgoers can be seen throwing caution to the wind as they engage in non-essential activities such as swimming, sunbathing, and surfing. People who have been inside for a while want to get that tan on. That's not so cool. But the UV rays kill the virus. So the thing is, if you have stuff, it makes sense to me, and I'm not a doctor, although I've seen them on TV. I've played one on the radio, that if you've got some stuff that you're worried about maybe having a virus, like if you've got like a saxophone, you got like a saxophone or something, and it's been inside and you don't know if you've been sick or not, take your saxophone outside. Sit it on the stand. See if the sun can get to it and kill off that coronavirus. You can't let it get too hot because the pads will fall off. But so the governor issued a plea on Twitter, begging. What he said was, "It's going to be nice outside this weekend. You might be feeling cooped up, ready for life to go back to, quote, normal. But I can't stress this enough. California can only flatten the curve if we stay home and practice physical distancing." So, you have the power to literally save lives. So the people went to, so Californians went, "Screw you, Gavin. I'm going outside. I'm going to the beach." protests are popping up all over the state of California, all the places in the world. California, seriously? And now it's in the second month under Governor Newsom's stay-at-home orders. So we have Pacific Beach and um, some other beaches around the state that are city beaches or private beaches that are opening up because people want. It's funny because it's always, oh my God, Florida and Florida, DUH Florida. But you know what? When beachgoers in the red state of California headed to the coast, the hashtag Florida Morons trended on Twitter. Leftists shamed the non-compliant Americans and hoped that Darwinism would run its course on the insubordinate Floridians. They had nothing but hate for us. But since California is a deep, bright blue state, no such prayers for mass deaths have yet to trend on Twitter. The number of expected deaths in Florida has been revised down in recent weeks. So perhaps owing to the warmer weather, places like Florida and California have not experienced large numbers of deaths like California has. The virus has killed less than 1,700 people in California since February. The state has an estimated population of just under 40 million. California is now digging up old deaths to see if virus were spreading through the community earlier than believed. Here's the deal. We're starting to find out stuff. Data, and I've said this in previous videos, and I've said this on previous podcasts, data is more important than models. Data is way more important than models. Way more important than models. And what's interesting is while that's going on, there's another story about some people in the squad. Rasida Tlaib. You remember Rasida Tlaib? We're going to go impeach the MFer, right? Remember Rasida Tlaib, Democrat from Michigan, on Sunday encouraged her MSNBC viewers to follow your gut instead of listening to the healthcare experts when it comes to the Wuhan coronavirus. I would push back no matter what these decisions and these other folks on these task force are being put together, Tlaib said. Your gut feeling, follow that. It's probably more credible than what you might be seeing coming out of various administrations. Now, Rashida Tlaib is saying, she's saying the same thing that you and I have been saying. And you and I have been saying this. You know what? If you don't feel comfortable, then don't do it. It's interesting. We went to church today. We have and I've explained this to you guys before. We have a small congregation. We'd have to count everybody, every kid, every baby, to get up to about 40. And the people who come every now, and we have to count the people who come every now and again, to get up to 40. And the benefit to that is, and there's a benefit in this particular instance, that pastor has been very clever. My pastor has been very clever. We meet at in a hotel conference room, and what he's been able to do is that he's divided us up into 3 services. We normally have 2, a morning and an evening, but 3 services, and not allowed any more than 10 people, 10 including himself, so 9 other people into the service. And when we get in the room, although some of us married couples have just gotten out of the same bed, just drove in the same car, less than 6 feet away. We go into the conference room, and then we spread out, and then we have church. We did that today. We did that last week. We've been doing that every week since the 6-foot guideline has been out there. We've done it every week. We had service on Easter, and pastor's been really good about saying, if you don't feel comfortable coming, there is no condemnation. It's cool. Understand? And we've got some people in our church who are dealing with respiratory issues that are not related to coronavirus. or COVID-19 or the Hong Kong flu, or whatever you're calling it, that it just makes sense for them not to come, not to be out. It just makes sense not for them not to be out. And that's cool, and that's fine. I record the services on my phone, and I'll upload them to our website. So if they want to participate, if they want to listen afterwards, they always can. The messages are up on our website no more than about an hour after they're done. After we're done, they're up and ready to be listened to, ready to be enjoyed. So that's how we do it. So now Rasida Tlaib is saying, follow your gut. Don't pay attention to these people in these various task force. Don't pay attention to them, right? She tweets this at AM Joy with Joy Reid on MSNBC. If you're afraid to go to work, do not go to work. I know this is hard, but you have every right to make sure that your life is put first. I don't care if it's the labor organizing late in the game. Demand that your life not be treated as if it's disposable. Because now there are labor unions, who are organizing get back to work because they're now on board. They're now on board with open the country up, which is being seen by so many people as a Trump thing. It ain't a Trump thing, Rasida. It's an American thing, honey. It ain't a Trump thing. So what's amazing that Tlaib is able to get away with saying not to trust members of the White House Coronavirus Task Force. Dr. Fauci, the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, is known as a liberal. Yet he has repeatedly made recommendations that he says the president has listened to, and Dr. Deborah Birx has the same thing. Listened on the same thing. You see, this is the cancel culture in a weird way happening. That because Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx have both said that the president has listened to them, it is seen that they are on his team, you see. And to negate anything Trump, don't listen to them now. Vernon Jones of Georgia, who said, you know what, I'm going to support the president. The Michigan Congresswoman, she's in the state house, who thanked the president for pushing hydroxychloroquine, as basically being censured for praising the president. Thank you, sir. Thanks for pushing that. Because we can't be reasonable. It can't be, well, there's a bunch we disagree on, but that thing, I really appreciate it. Now we're going to go back to squaring off. No. Because it's discredit Trump at all cost. All right, we're gonna stop for a little bit. We're gonna play the our segment that I am super proud of. Bryce is Right, my friend Tim Bryce. I'm super excited that he is now part of Fight Back Media. It just don't get no better than this. It just doesn't. It just don't get no better than this. So without further ado, let's see if we can. Which one are we going to do today? We did being in Florida. What about Democrats? No. Let's see. Lacking faith in political polling. Okay, we're gonna have to play another one again. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. How much time do we have? How about this one? Well, it's like we thought it was, and we've only got like a minute. I want to get this story to you because this is super important. Like we always thought it was. We're simply not being told the whole story. Simply not being told the whole story. We're waiting for the antibody test to start, and they've started. And they started in the biggest petri dish in the country, New York. And I do mean to say that in a derogatory way, but that's not the important part. The important part is that a place like New York that was hit pretty hard with coronavirus is announcing some things. Governor Cuomo has announced that the antibody testing in New York State, which only began 4 days ago, was already demonstrating that a minimum of 13.9% of New Yorkers had COVID-19 late stage antibodies. The implications should shake the entire nation. With a population of 19,554,500 people, the findings point out that over 2.5 million New Yorkers had the virus and have recovered. 2.5 million have had the virus and recovered. Now, right now, there's 260. It says that there are only 263,000 New Yorkers that currently have confirmed cases. But these antibody tests that say that basically are saying that 13.9% of New Yorkers have had coronavirus are really saying that 2.5 million people have had it and recovered. Do you know what happens if you do the arithmetic? If you do the arithmetic, that means almost nobody has contracted the coronavirus and had trouble with it. Almost nobody has died from it. No matter how many deaths you pop above the line, almost nobody has died from it. So we've been told that the true death rate is 7.4% in New York. But if you add 2.5 million to the known cases now, you get something like 2.7 million, which pushes down the death rate to nothing, really. Somebody's going to have to start answering these questions. And someone's going to have to start answering these questions right away. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.